Strategy and Snark presents Dungeons and Dragons Online. And welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the epic 3-Barrel Cove. Our first pack, I believe, that legitimately has a unique quest. Only for epic levels. Giant Hold had a raid, but I can't do the raids, so we can do this one. I have been waiting to do this one since like level 3 when we came in here at 3-Barrel Cove. I really like this last quest, and it's a shame you can't see it unless you're epic. It's a good quest. So, as usual, we're gonna grab, everything gold around here. I want to say Sidani here is our arc giver. She's gonna give us an extra reward if we do everything. Interestingly, the epic versions don't have the same quest givers. So you'll notice we got Old Tomb and a Legend Revisited right here. These are just Legend of Two-Toed Tobias and Old Grey Garl. But they're just the epic ones. But they're different quest givers. You have, off the top of my head, you have to do those two to unlock the last one. I don't think you have to do the other two. I could be wrong. I do them all. If you remember from the original heroic 3-Barrel Cove, there's 9 quests out here, right? Only 4 of them. 4 of them got epic versions. We're not going to the fire caves at all. We're not going to Scoundrel's Run, the one where the Legends of the Hidden Temple one where you put the turtle together. We're not doing that. We're not doing the second part where we had to do Old Grey Garl and go back in a second time for some reason to do the exact same quest again, only 10 more feet. We are going to be doing this one. Prove Your Worth does have an epic version, but it's the same quest giver. I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think it's the same quest giver. Which one are you? You're the Scoundrel's Run. We just said we're not doing that one. Boing. And then the other one that does have an epic is Ghost of a Chance. And we are again talking to the ghost who wants us to go save his brother. So those are our four epic versions of quests out here. That's it. 2 fire quest ones. This guy right here. His quests didn't get updated. This guy is Two-Toed Tobias. His quest did get updated, but he got a new quest giver. And just to show I do read the comments when there is enough time, somebody mentioned, when I'm looking at this map here, right, I can go grab all the quests, I can do all the quests, right? But Blood Eye, this guy right here, he's got a gold cup on the map, which I should move me off of the map. It's kind of small. I doubt you can see it. But he's got a gold icon on the map. Doesn't do anything if I try to talk to him. Turns out that's because there's a quest in the marketplace. It's one of those like directional quests. You actually need to go and it's so that you know to go to 3-Barrel Cove. It's one of those, hey, you're level 3, you want to go swash some buckles? And so they give you the quest to talk to Blood Eye. That's what it is. So that's why he's got the marker. And that makes me happy, knowing that I didn't just miss like a whole quest or something. Like, I knew there wasn't a quest, but it's nice to know that there's something beyond just, there's an icon there that doesn't make sense. Alright, so what's the most efficient way for us to run around here? I want to say, since we've done the heroic ones, I think he'll send us. So we get to kind of cheat a little bit. If you've done the heroic version, you can just yeet yourself back to the quest, so you don't have to run all the way through the wilderness again. We probably will run through the wilderness to go get Tobias and Old Gregarl, because they're right by the entrance. And I want to say that leads us right to Prove Your Worth, too. Ghost of a Chance is on, like, the far side of the map. So, I didn't want to have to run to that one. That's a long way to run for one quest. So, what's different in the quest? So, for one thing, those mage fire cannons, they're gonna hurt a lot more. They have upgraded their weaponry. All the little pirates in here. Don't just discount those mage fire cannons. I don't have enough jump. There we go. Yeah. Oh, it takes too long to cast. I want this. There we go. Good enough. I don't have enough jump to be able to jump out of the water far enough to cast my spell, but that's okay. I got my elemental resists, and that's what I wanted. Look at how many hits we're already taking. Because it's not just these cannons. Every single one of these guys has a ranged weapon. It's like they know that you're coming in. And force damage is very hard to reduce. I want to say... I want to say... somewhere in a tooltip somewhere, physical reduction rating is supposed to reduce force damage. Something in that ballpark. But, you know, it kind of doesn't matter. Force usually blows you up. Because there isn't a resist force spell. I mean, they have something in one of the new trees. There's something about... I don't remember which one. I remember seeing something about force, but it's not in any tree I've played with. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Here, we're going to turn auto attack on. You know, don't mind me. I think it's in Feydark Illusionist. Is this the one that gives you... I mean, it gives you offensive force. 5% force absorption. That's not super exciting, but whatevs. If you have trouble getting in that first room because you're taking so much fire, it's hard to shuck the aggro. Somebody else mentioned that this whole back half of the quest here. Let's see if we can find it, because I know I didn't do this before. I know I didn't do it before. Let's see if I can find it. I've never actually done it before. Somebody mentioned that the secondary intended way to do this is you actually dive underwater. And I'm going to assume it's this way because that's where all the stuff is. Here we go. So instead of fighting those guys head on, you swim underwater. And then you can pop up. And you come through some of those secret doors and hit them from behind. Get out of here, drones. I should probably finish putting my buffs up. That would probably help. So yeah, I don't remember... Even if I wrote down names, I probably mispronounced them anyway. But yeah. I do read the comments. And some of you are leaving some really good tips. Even if I sometimes forget. Because remember, from my point of view, it's quite a while between when we did the heroic and the epic one. I try to go back and reread the comments before I do repeats, but I don't always remember until I'm, here. I hate not being able to jump. Why isn't jump just the paladin spell? There's no reason to be a paladin spell. I just want it to be. Alright, so now we are right back where I pointed at before. There's that little water grate. Right? Right back where we were. So. I'm going to kill the squishies because they go down a lot faster than the spotter drone. Off the top of my head, the spotter drone is lowering my armor class. I think that's what it does. Reduced by 50%. Big deal. Oh no. I mean, was it always a 23 or is it a 23 now? Who even cares? If something's going to swing at me, it's going to hit me because I have level 5 gear. My armor is 20 levels below me. I'm not exactly built to care about those percentage reductions. Alright. Lever is locked. Alright, what am I forgetting? I already blew up the can of crystal. It's probably just another one. When in doubt, find another thing to blow up. Oh, and finish putting my buffs up. I had that one. Ooh, holy sword. I did have holy sword up. Okay, happy now. So, I will say that I remember when we came through here on heroic, I was expecting a big deadly trap, and it never showed up. So, now that we're in epic, I'm expecting my big deadly trap that I remember. Because I have definitely died to a big deadly trap in this quest before. Also, these can of crystals don't exist in the heroic version. I am 85% certain that we could have just plowed straight on. We didn't have to turn around and come do this little around the corner crystal thing. That was epic only. Which is interesting that they bothered. You were definitely not... Ah, see? I told you. I told you there was a trap. I told you. Of course, then Klutzo decided to run through the trap, but... See, look. See if I can find it. See the skeletons on the ground? I'm pretty sure that's where the trap is. I don't know what you're supposed to do to not have to step there since we have to go this way, but... I'll be real. Half the time, when I'm just running through, I wouldn't have backed up, right? I would have resurrected on that side of the trap and just kept going. But let's see if we can find the correct way to get through this trap. I'm ranging this thing down so it's not shooting at me while I'm looking around. Okay. You come here and heal me. Put my sword up. Okay. So we can see there's two little slots there where blade traps came out. I will say, we don't normally take damage from traps, right? How many traps am I looking for? I have to scroll past all the throwing axe attacks. Okay. My combat log is completely washed out with throwing axe. Alright, how about over here? 200 damage on a failed save. 200. These traps are... We're on epic hard. We're not even on elite. Epic hard. Random blade trap that you have to run through. Okay? What if I jump? Why did I take damage 3 times? Of course, now I'm gonna have to fight the scrolling of my crusade buff. Yeah, it did about 200 damage every single time, but but why did I get hit 3 times? It's because I dared to jump. I dared to fly. Alright. What if I go straight between them? Nope. Nope. Going straight between them, you get hit by both. Do I have 2 crusades down? That's not supposed to work that way. Weird. Alright, so you can't... I can't jump over them. Let's go and see if there's anything in this corner. Because this is epic, right? And they've already made a slight change by making you beat up those crystals. Maybe there's a back way past here so you don't have to run through the trap. There's a lever that doesn't do anything. That's looking in on the wrong room. How about in the water? Nothing in the water. There's a platform here. I vaguely remember... I think it was one of Strimtom's videos. He mentioned... you can stand on this platform to buff at the beginning of the quest. In case you don't want to go and do the long way. Okay, so. I'm not a hardcore expert. So hardcore league, I just didn't do this quest because I knew there was something up here. If you yourself want to do this quest, the easiest way to handle this is to just run through and then take your ghost to the left because there's a shrine. So I'm going to try to jump there to another 400 damage because both of them hit me for some reason. There's got to be some weird trigger here. Like somebody with a rogue with evasion come in here, stand in here, and figure out where these traps actually trigger because they don't feel like they're triggering like they should. Ha! I walked back to look at the trap and I died. Did you see what happened there? The other wave of trap hit me and then the crusade popped me back up. That's funny. I didn't know that could happen. I think there's something wrong with crusade. So what that ability is supposed to do is that when I get hit under 50% HP, it triggers crusade. It's that aura of bonus damage, stun, and healing. But it's supposed to only happen once every 2 minutes. Now, I'm faffing around a little bit, but it's not 2 minutes at a time. Also, I was no... Look at this. I'm just daring it now. But yeah, there was a line there, so there's three lines of trap. That's not where I was. I'm over here, thank you, game. Big trap, right? I think the devs know that that's a big scary trap. Could have swore this was a shrine right here. Didn't I literally just see a shrine there a second ago? Am I misremembering something again? Maybe it's heroic there's a shrine there. Or it could be a temporary shrine and I just ignored it. Whatever. So, if you are finding it difficult to push yourself through that that section, I don't know how you're supposed to get past that trap without disarming it. No. It's definitely not there on heroic. Right? We did not run into the problem of, oops, we explode when we were there in heroic. So they added it, that's a trap added in epic mode. Thank you, Andaro. Well, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes doing this puzzle. I am not the right character class to be able to find all the traps. So we are going to YOLO our way into this boss fight with no buffs. Because I can. Hey look, it's Tovin de Kenneth. He is the bad guy from the Secrets of the Artificer's Chain? The one that's not the challenges. There's like Vaults of the Artificer and Secrets of the Artificer. One of them's the challenges, and the other one is the actual quests. I'm just gonna hit you with lots of stuff. Major Mal. Isn't that... Wasn't that one of the devs? I also do not think that it was... that was the boss. Now, it's the same idea for the boss, but that's not the name of the boss from Heroic. It's kind of nice. Like, quest number 1, we're already seeing a couple little deviations. They haven't changed the core idea of the quest. But they did change a couple of the details, you know. You got a zig instead of zag at one point. Not a big deal, but it's enough that if you're just on autopilot, you know, it'll make you stop and go, wait a minute. And toast. Oh, one more. Alright. No buffs, no mana, no problem. Scroll of Iceberg is somewhat interesting. That's the level 9 ice spell. And in theory, those are not purchasable. But, you know, if you're an ice sorcerer, you just took it at level up. Or an ice wizard, you just take it at level up. It's very rare that I see anybody actually scrounging for scrolls. There you go, you're safe. Oh hey, it said we got a piece of the map. So, our story right now is it's a treasure hunt. This did not exist in Heroic. The epic ones, and only the epic ones, are about you getting the pieces of a treasure map. Alright, we're going to recall because it's faster. That's all the reason I need is faster. And back in. Now we're going to do 2 very easy quests, and then another one that might randomly kill us. So this first one we're going to head over here to do. Not really a big deal. People farm this one a lot. At least they farm the heroic. Oh, I don't think that the epic version has any better. So let's put the horse in front of the cart. This quest is known for an item that drops that basically lets you self-resurrect. So it's very, very useful. However, it has a very, very, very low drop rate. So I've never even seen one. I know it drops in heroic. Maybe it only drops in epic. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't remember if it's heroic or epic. You know what? Let's find out. This would literally take 2 seconds for me to find out. DDO, Blade of Jack Gibbers. Why leave a question when I can just... Found in a Legend Revisited. That is the epic version. So, double checking. Yes. Cursed Blade of Jack Gibbers lets you resurrect yourself when you are dead. It is, I believe, the only item in the game that can do that. Well, outside of the cakes you can buy in the DDO store. It's basically one of those cakes. Just usable once every... It says once a day. Now, you're only alive for a minute. Also, okay, before I get too far ahead, have you noticed a difference? This section was flooded in heroic. This was a swimming section before. The water's all gone. Did it change the fact that we go to the left and then we go to the right? No. But somebody had to put a little effort in. I can get behind it. Just little differences, just so they feel a little bit different when you're doing them. Especially when you're doing all of them. I want to say there weren't cursed kobolds in the heroic version either. You know, swapping a few enemies out, tweaking the platforming, just changing it, just taking the water out. Like, and they probably had to move a box, right, to make sure that you could actually get out without the water. Otherwise, it's the same quest. But I'm happy. Give me all of the epic remasters should have had at least little changes like this. They don't have to be major. They don't have to have their own new storyline. It would be really hard to shoehorn in a brand new storyline while revisiting the exact same quests. I feel like that's what they tried to do with Giant Hold. I feel like they tried to put a new, like, slap a new storyline on top of the old quests, and they just didn't change enough in the quests. Like, they didn't give themselves enough room. They didn't even bother in one of the other packs. There's another pack. I don't remember which one, but basically they're like, all right, here's the remaster. Also, we just added a raid. We didn't change anything. We just added a raid. Because that's all you degenerates care about. I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm not. Oh, this was... So, yeah. This was the room where we had to fight the crew, right? Waves of skeletons to get through before this gate would open. Gate's already open. Man, it's nice to fight things that are squishy. Fighting constructs with a paladin sucks. Do. Open the door. Alright, so I believe we can just go straight this way. So, just like before, we've got to do something to open the door. There's the boat. At some point in the past, you used to have to shoot a target. But I think they got rid of that even on the heroic version. And again, somebody's stolen all the water. Pockface. Man, you get turned into a vampire, so you're an immortal pirate. But your name is still Pockface. Hey look, a valve. Oh no, I took some damage. Remember, it used to be ice up top? It was ice up top. We had to turn the valve to turn the fire on to melt it. Is that where the water went? We evaporated it by leaving the fire jets on this whole time? Oh, you beauties. I'd love that to be the answer. You evaporated the water by leaving the fire jets on. I would like to be the guy who has to sit here like, just give me a pack. Give me any pack. And they'll be like, you, make it epic. What would you do to make it epic? And just all of the, like, I would absolutely assume the player was here during heroic. And everything they did canonically within, like, the purposes of the quest happens. I need to hit the other switch still, which I think is this way. Because I love thinking about well, you know, if they did this, what does it mean? If they did this, then these people would do this in response. I think this is the way I already went. I need the other way. I need to be able to see long enough to find the other way. Up and over the ship. There we go. Or are you just a dude? Oh no, there's the valve. So. Respect those ones. He tried to cast Wail of the Banshee, but I actually cast Death Ward today. I'm not rolling 2 ones for you. So like Waterworks, right? You want to keep the core of Waterworks the same. You know, generally still going the same direction, so the quest is not different. Let's see. I would probably make it so the kobolds got kicked out, right? You have to rescue the kobolds. That's it. Hobgoblins, maybe? What's something that hates kobolds? Kobolds have a tendency to steal all of the shinies. I'm totally going the wrong way while I'm thinking about this. So you go into Waterworks. That was like the slowest deploy of a trap. You go into Waterworks. The kobolds had been captured. So instead of... Did I not hit the valve? So instead of you having to free the human prisoners. You have to free the kobold prisoners. So you're kicking down the door. I'm going to say hobgoblins, I want to say, maybe. Are they a little too low level for epic? Something that doesn't like kobolds, probably something related to the Boromar gang. Sharn is trying to take over the waterworks as a good foothold to try to take it over Stormreach. So they've ousted the kobolds because the kobolds are sitting on their mountain of shinies from the Cannith challenges that they help with. You got to get in there and rescue the kobolds because one of the kobolds took a specialer crystal that he wasn't supposed to have taken, and you're trying to track down the special crystal, and then at the end you find out that he's dead, and he writes down Seal of Chanticleer at the end. You lead it into Chanticleer again. It could work. I think that could work. Oh, I need to actually... Yeet. 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 Again. I'm gonna go down, hit the valve on the way to open the other door, as I get stuck on the very first box because I am a chonky paladin. And go. Boing. Pull the hireling to us. And we're back in here. Oh no, it's actually Jack Jibbers. And we're just gonna... He's a ghost. He's not actually going to be able to hurt us. He actually casts Death Ward. So we're just going to swing a couple times. Smite, 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 smite. Just fall over already. I'm just... There's that one on hold person again. Alright. Alright. It's like a 1% drop or something. Like, it's low. Like, it's really low. I've still got the page up, actually. Does it say... No. But they are bind to character on acquire. So if you already have one, you know, it's not like you can pass it to another one of your characters. If you're running solo and you already have one, it's wasted. Because by the time you've opened the chest, it's too late to have somebody else come and take it. There's no banking. Well, I mean, you can put it in your own bank, but yeah, I disagree with making things bound to character. Ah, an airship? Oh shit, there it is. Hi. This is new to the Epic Wilderness. What's that? Yes. The Epic Wilderness also has new things. There's actual goddamn airships. Don't stand on the targeting reticules or you'll get blasted by their cannons. So all of the boats are considered rare encounters. So if I were to take it out, I would get a rare encounter credit. If you're not a ranged character, there's usually like a ballista around here somewhere that you can use to take pot shots at it, but it takes a long time. Like, if you aren't a sorcerer, it's kind of not worth it. Just run. I am not throwing my returning hand axe at that thing for an hour. Oops. I didn't mean to fall down. Yeah, take that. And that. And that. And that. And that. I'm not even moving the HP. Epic. Old Grey Garl. And this will be number 3 out of 4. That's not supposed to follow me in here. Silly game. Alright. Off the top of my head, there's no differences in this quest, but I don't pay a lot of attention to this quest. Like, okay, yes. All of these quests, at the end of it, you open your treasure chest and the guy says, "Hooray! You found a piece of the treasure chest." But, like, they drained the water out of the last quest. They added extra guns and traps to the first quest we did. Yuanti. So instead of troglodytes, we get Yuanti. I think they're Yanti, but, like, seriously. It's a made-up name. It's a made-up name, specifically trying to sound Chinese, I think. Because I think everything from around when they came out was from, like, the Oriental Adventures Handbook, kind of something like that. Like, look, it's weird, over in, you know, the mystical Orient, they have snake people. You know, I say that sarcastically, but put yourself 50, 60 years ago. How long? Yeah, like 50, 60 years. You know, globalization is just starting. Like, you know where China is because your school bought a bunch of globes. But it's not like everything is a click away, right? Think about... What's a good example? Think about how fascinated we are now with the bottom of the ocean. You know, we think about, like, oh man, we're going to find so much stuff there, and maybe Atlantis, and there's going to be, like, giant squid, and all of these, like, there's going to be a megalodon down there somehow, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Just all these fantastical things because we don't know. And yeah, there's a couple people who know or have a better idea than, you know, anyone else. Is there a megalodon at the bottom of the ocean? Of course not. It would have to eat the population of New York every single day. There's just not that much food down there to keep it alive. Like, what's it gonna eat? An elephant eats, like, an entire tree a day. I don't remember how much. Elephants eat a lot, right? I don't know how it equates to tree weight. I should look that up. When somebody says, oh, this thing eats 7 tons, like, I can't visualize that. 3 cars I can visualize. Andaro, heal yourself. But anyway, I remember when I was little, I was super into the idea of, like, different countries have all these, like, different, like, powers and abilities and everything. Kind of a, I guess you could call it a reaction to, like, Captain Planet, right? I just started associating different places with different kinds of magic and everything. It's not how it works, unfortunately. It'd be cool if it was. So I can totally understand how back in the day they'd be like, yes, that snake charmer, that must, like, we have to make something that referenced snake charming because that's freaking insane. And then they see the guy like walking on a bed of nails and like the Buddhist monks, and they're just like, this is all amazing. Look at all of this stuff from the other side of the world. I think where they got tripped up was they just also called it the Orient. Like, Orient just means east. I want to say west is Occident, off the top of my head. Nobody uses those words anymore because they're like, A, they're old-timey words, and B, it's kind of rude to refer to like Asian people as Oriental now. I mean, they even changed the name of the top ramen flavor, which, I mean, they're just gonna call it original or something. I actually don't know what they call it. I think it's just original. And I wonder how many people even notice that it's... How much of that are people going to blame on, like, the Mandela effect? They're like, I know this used to be... This isn't original. This was Oriental. What's going on? Do I really need to fight you, or can I just jump down? I need that lever. Did I get the lever on the front side? I think I was too busy killing things to actually flip the lever. Alright, here's lever 1. And done. Did I get that lever? Of course not. Boing. Oh. I didn't get the button. I just pushed it too late. That wasn't the game not registering it. That was me pushing it like a second too late. But come on, where's my mage hand cantrip? Why do I gotta walk all the way back up there? And then these guys don't even count as alive until they are done doing their stealth animation. Anyway. So yeah, my point was, I think whoever wrote a lot of the original, like, Asian-themed, or Asian-inspired, stolen from Asia, whoever wrote this original D&D stuff, they just had to, like, literally say it came from anywhere that wasn't the East. Like, seriously. It's just so on the nose. Like, look, Dungeons and Dragons world has an East, and it's weird and mystical just like our East. It's like, really? You couldn't have at least pretended it was like the South or something? Now, different people get different mileage out of it, though. If they did look, D&D has a South, and then, you know, it ended up being a medieval version of Dueling Banjos, I would laugh. Like, that would make me laugh. If they said D&D World has a South and it was just like Mexico. It's just like, but that's just Mexico. Or Spain, I guess. Spain is on the south side of Europe. But it's just like, don't just map real-world locations onto your D&D map. At least pretend that you're putting some effort into it. As you just steal other people's culture wholesale. To be fair, they were never going to sell you their culture, so... I see a lot of... it's about that time of year that you start seeing all the prom dresses and stuff. And then there's inevitably somebody decides to make a fancy one, and they make it something like a... What was the one I saw this year? Somebody made like a Native American themed prom dress, and of course the instant meme, you know, my culture is not your prom dress. But it kind of is. I mean, you can make a duct tape prom dress. That's my culture. I don't know. I am an uncultured swine. Like, I don't have a culture. My culture is stealing other people's culture. That is literally my culture. So I can't be wrong. Because my culture is stealing other people's culture. That's kind of America in a nutshell. What do we have? What kind of culture is uniquely American? Right? America, like United States, has existed for 200 years? 200 and 230? No, 260? It's not that long. I'm trying to remember the date on the bicentennial quarters. Because I don't remember when the Declaration of Independence was signed. I could look it up, but I won't. I'll look up which quest Blade of Jack Jibbers is in. I'm not going to look up Independence Day. So, here's the thing. Our country's a baby. Little tiny baby country, right? China, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, okay? Japan, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Britain, thousands and thousands. They might not remember everything. Not everything's all written down properly, and a lot of it's turned into legend, but that's the point. King Arthur. Look at King Arthur, okay? King Arthur is probably just, like, at most a fancy retelling of maybe some king's life. I was really expecting there to be a boss. Did I just kill a red name and not notice? Like, I was waiting for a boss to pop up. Anyway. America doesn't have King Arthur. America doesn't have, you know, the cool Shaolin monks or any of that stuff. America doesn't have, like, the kami from the Shinto religion. Those are awesome. That's basically where Pokemon comes from. And it's okay because it was a Japanese company that made it. So they ripped their own culture off and then sold it to us. See? Sell us your culture, we'll just buy it. America has what? Cowboys? Cowboys don't really exist anywhere else. Native American doesn't count as American because squatting in somebody else's house is not the same as buying the house. Right, it's acquire the treasure map piece. Gentleman Glynn. This is an interesting boss fight, assuming we can survive to get there. So if you'll remember... I mean, I really should just stop ranting about culture anyway. I'll give you this. I'll end on this. America has produced its own culture. I would argue, and I'm not alone in this, superheroes are the American culture. Like, that's the bit that I think is going to survive and be what other countries think of when they look at America. You know, that's going to be what other countries steal when they go to do their own thing. I think it's going to be the superheroes. Because, you know, we got those started almost 100 years ago, so half the life of the country. It's not bad. Not bad. So, I cannot disarm traps. I can hang here and see what happens. Alright, we got blade traps on the side. This was fire up top, right? No, it was spikes. It was boop, 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 boop. That spikes would go forward. I think now I think it's fire. Holy crap, that's a lot of spikes. That was a lot of spikes. We didn't die. I was wrong about. So, I will say, actually, let's be scientific about it. After we clear these things and get the door open, let's go jump in front of that other spike and see which one does more damage. Come on. Take me out of this stupid net trap. Alright. Okay, we gotta kill the cannon so we don't lose the hireling, just in case I screw up and got myself killed. Come on. I'm sure I've pushed the jump button multiple times here. As my... Not that I'm gonna look, but I could look, because my keyboard is silent to me. Okay? I can't hear that. But because it's connected to the desk, whenever I'm editing the videos, it's like clunk, 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 clunk. I need to find something to pad that out. I don't know why it does that. Well, I mean, I assume it's because it's connected to the desk, but anyway, come here, hireling. I want to go jump in front of this trap. You let me know how much it hurts. Barely at all. What are you doing, hireling? I didn't invite you to do it. Moving on. Swiftly moving on. Oh. I know there's a difference here. Hold on. Get out of there, hireling. You stay. Oh, crap. There's another difference. I remember. Okay. This is going to take me a second. In Heroic, when we run through here, it's just a bunch of crates. There are some explosive crates, but as long as you don't hit them, whatever. They added these homing blade traps that will chase you around. So they will follow you, and they will just stand on you and shred you. And they will shred all the boxes as you try to run by. So do not stand still out there. And now, for the worst part of this quest. I have had this bug out on me multiple times. Like, I don't know why. It's just... So which way was it? Last time I was here, I think you have to use it while not standing on it. And that'll start it moving. Do not put your hirelings on the moving platform. It will break them. Which sucks. Because I would have really liked the hireling for this next bit. What you need to do is you have to get up here. You have to stand on this ledge and wait for the elevator to come back. Except, as you can see, there's usually a trap. So I'm safe in this corner over here. But now I have to jump back through the trap to get back on this, and we have to do that again. We're taking hundreds of damage, okay? So there we go. Like, I have enough HP. I am not standing on that. I should not have taken damage. I have enough HP that I can jump in there and be like, hey, where's a safe spot? And then just move, right? But man, is that frustrating when you step in, you instant die because you get hit by, like I was taking 400 to 600 damage for stepping on them, right? You basically have to have a rogue to not just have to tank it. Because your hirelings are going to break those elevators. What I want to be able to do is just run my ghost, right? I want to just die to the first one, get my raise, and then just jump on the elevator, jump again, jump back on the elevator, jump out, and accept the raise when I'm up here. But the hirelings and the elevators, they don't coexist very well, and your elevators will just stop moving. So it gets... Yeah. I think I mentioned this before, but this is the most recent one of the revisits we've done lately. So, whereas something like High Road and Druid's Deep, which got epic versions like right away, I think they came out with epic versions. Honestly, I think they came out epic and just happened to have heroic versions. This was more recent, so you could see that in the first quest we did, right? Where the traps are doing way more damage than any other traps at this level. This, I don't think it's possible to survive, for me. Every moment that you are touching these spikes, you take damage. But you see that? If I angle my camera just right, there's more spikes. It's not just like, oh, there's 5, just jump right there. No, you have to, this is a featherfall maze where you have to very carefully go all the way down, or you die. Which is fine. Just don't do this on hardcore. See, I can't even get out of the way of the spikes. Ha. I survived. Like, once you're in the spikes, you're in the spikes. Moving, you just go, ow, 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 ow. Get down here. My standard strategy for that is just dead and then summon the hireling. Because there's no danger right here. You can just splat on the ground dead. You don't even need featherfall. Just jump straight down and have him raise you at the bottom. Alright. I want to say this part is the same as it was before. At least I think the solution is the same. I think you get like... Instead of dogs, I think it's hellhounds and a fire elemental or something. Something else happens when you reset the thing. Let's see. Nothing? The gate is open, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming I'm doing this right. Yeah. I've done this a lot of times. There we go. Puzzle solved. First, shoot this direction that way. Second, shoot this direction this way. Puzzle solved. That's the shoot lever. That's the reset lever. There you go. Now you know how to do that puzzle in 2 shots every time. This was an ambush originally. Is it still? This used to be a harder ambush because this was the named Iron Defender. Now it's squishies, and I do a lot of damage to squishies. So, I remember this too. The way you do this in Heroic is that you jump up there. You do not have to go through the whole thing on Heroic. But for some reason, there's a whole bunch of... Look at those little faces right there. Look at all those little... You shoot fire, right? You gonna shoot some fire? You gonna shoot some fire at me? I mean, I have 61 fire resist. I'm sure there's a pattern, right? But it's fire. Most of us can pop like fire shield cold or be a fire elemental or something. Just boop. I don't think I actually took a hit from any of those. I just YOLO'd my way through, having followed the one in front of me. This, I want to say, is... It's not sticky trap. I think it's net traps. And it's going to shoot me again. I think that was the same as Heroic. There's just more of them. There we go. And we're out. And again, I'm not getting that treasure chest. Like, that one right there, it's not worth the effort. You can go and play around in the fire section and pull all the levers if you really want to. That +3 flaming quarterstaff of illusion focus. You know, can't leave that behind. All right. This, I want to say, this was not in the Heroic version. I'm pretty sure. I should really I should just watch my original video. This was, at minimum, created for the Epic version and may have been shoehorned into the Heroic version, but I don't think so. The Heroic version right now, you come in and there's an orc guy and he says, you know, pass my quiz. And he says something like, where do you go when you get to port? To the tavern, you know, that kind of thing. We're not doing that this time. You know, and that ends with throwing the kobold, either throwing him to the dogs or fighting the pirates and taking the treasure. That's Heroic. It's not how Epic ends. Before you start this fight, go into your skills tab. Go and grab your best out of bluff, intimidate, and is it diplomacy? It might be diplomacy. We'll find out. My diplomacy is deplorable. Big surprise. My bloof is 45. And my intimidate is 30. So my bluff is my best one. Keep that in mind. So, we're going to fight. So, you'll note he's stunned. So, we're like, blah, blah, blah. He's going to insult me. If I don't click a button, I get stunned, and he keeps beating on me. If I do click one, and I think I have to pass, he gets stunned. So I succeeded my bluff, and now he gets stunned. So, take whatever your best one is. They're all on the same cooldown, so you can't spam them. I didn't purposely fail that second one. It was still on cooldown, so I couldn't do it. There are a couple of classes, like Rogue, that get a separate bluff. It's like Sly Flourish, I think, or something. I don't know. It's on a separate cooldown. Put both of them on there, because I think you'll be able to keep tab and always have him on the stunned instead of you. I didn't actually want those. So that fight gets kind of hard if you don't understand what's going on. The gimmick here is that when you hit the bluff button, it's actually the parrot that is delivering your retort. And he's getting flustered at the parrot talking back to him instead of backing him up. Which is funny to me. I like that little fight. Now, I like it from the viewpoint of I already know the gimmick. The first time I went into that fight, and I'd like fight for like 3 seconds, and then I'd be like uncounterable stunned, just like, okay, right? I didn't know what was going on. So I just was hammering away for 3 seconds at a time in between those stuns, and that was rough. But now I get it. As far as I know, it's the only only fight in the game that does that. And they kind of tell you. It's hinted at some point during the fight. I don't remember exactly what they say, but they definitely say something, because the devs are trying to tell you, like, hey, use one of your social skills. And I don't think the DCs are that high. I think mine said, like, moderate success or something. Like, I didn't nail him with a zinger, but I did okay. Alright, so we're turning these quests in so that we are eligible to take the last quest. Boop, there it is. I should have turned these two in first, just to see if you needed the other ones. So, I won't spoil it. I'll just show you. So we need to run all the way to the other side of Three Barrel Cove. As I fail to find the door out of Three Barrel Cove. There we go. So I'm going to check the map, and I believe it was up here somewhere. Like, oh, there we go. Fire caves, precious cargo. So let's take our teleporter to the fire caves to try to save us some running. Might work. It's not exactly where I want to be. Look at that magma brute. That is definitely a nastier boy than the generic fire elemental that's usually standing there. Oops, see that ballista? That means there's an airship here too. We're about to come under some fire. Oh, yep, there it is. There. The claw of the crag. We really can't fight back. Tree of death? I have to fight something called Tree of Death. I have defeated the Tree of Death. Anyway. We gotta go around this, mountain. It's not actually that bad. We need to wrap ourselves up and around a spot that if you did the explorers, like if you actually explored this whole area, you're be like, oh, that spot. Yeah. This cool little cove way in the corner. They had an airship, and there's a couple rare encounters here. Like, this is a cool spot that never had any relevance to any of the quests. And this is just where they put the entrance to the last quest. Like, they just like, hey, we've got this cool spot. Why don't we just put the new quest there? As I step in a crack and fall down a cliff. Good old polygonal geography. I guess it would also be geology, kind of. How far? We're almost there. You would think the Blood Tide in particular would see me coming and be like, maybe we don't. I've practically suplexed their airships by myself. Alright. So, you'll notice we're not actually going all the way up there to the pirate stronghold. We're stopping short. Because we got all the pieces to the map. You know what that means? You know what it means when you find all the pieces of the map? It means you found the treasure. Yeah, you just already found it. This is not a quest about finding the treasure. Which is fascinating to me. Okay? I love what they did here. Because every single other quest is fight hundreds of bad guys and get the treasure, okay? We got the treasure. We got the map. And the guy was like, boop, 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 boop. I'm a cartographer. I know what I'm doing. Boop, 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 boop. It's right there. They walked over and it was there. This, my friends, this is an airship. We are going to be riding this airship. Captain Cage, take us out. So, what's going to happen is we've got a flight time of 10 minutes. We are literally, there's a timer right there. We are 10 minutes away from storm reach. I want you at the aft ballista, and I want you to man it. I want you to guard the treasure. I want you starboard, man the controls. Port, man the controls. 4, man the controls. Somewhere there's like the first mate. So you get to tell the crew what to do. There you are. So, you can tell the crew to do stuff, okay? They're not useless. This starboard damage control. So, here's your problem, okay? What your actual goal is here is you need to keep this treasure safe. I send the two strongest henchmen, Stain Tusk and Mad Ann, who I believe we met back in Irestone Inlet. This is not our first meeting. Because Captain Cage is the guy we helped out back at level 4. He's got himself a new ship. So I sent the two named ones down there to help guard the treasure. They're bringing in their boarders. So they've knocked out our helm is what's happened. We need to go repair the helm. Which means I need to kill all of these guys so my guys don't die. Kill all their guys. Hey you, I would like you at the bridge on damage control. And now I'm going to run up there to make sure there's not dudes who are just going to kill him the second he gets there. You, why are you not already on damage control? So, if you're playing on normal mode, you can maybe outfly everything. I've seen some people play normal mode and their ship is fast enough that they're able to skip the entire quest. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the engine room here of this here enemy ship. Would you just fall down already? Thank you. And, let's see, is that everybody? That's everybody. Oh, what's that? An elemental engine? What happens if I literally throw something into the engine? Okay, that's going to take too long. What happens if I literally stab the engine? Must run faster, must run faster, must run faster, must run faster. Boing! So yeah, when they stop your ship and they board you, you can go into their ship, stab it through its heart, and then wave. Bye-bye. Unfortunately, they knocked out the helm. And apparently, these guys are not actually doing their job. You're supposed to be able to... Oh, I interrupted him. You. 4 ballista damage control, since you're not doing anything here. You're supposed to be able to tell the crew to do stuff. You tell the crew to man the controls, and the ship will shoot at the enemy ships. And on normal mode, they will actually shoot down the enemy ships. Like, you'll take some hits, but they will shoot down the enemy ships. On elite mode, the one time I came in here on elite mode, the first time anything flies past your ship, they carpet bomb the shit out of the whole thing, and everybody dies in the first volley. There's nothing you can do to save them. But okay, there's one thing you can do to save them. If you are a perfectionist like me, you can Give me the helm. If you have a higher repair skill, you get more repair out of spamming the repair button. I barely get any health back. You. Bridge. Damage control. He's supposed to be repairing it constantly, right? Like StarCraft style, or Pikmin, or Lemmings, or I don't know. So here's another ship. I could turn on auto attack. I'm never going to be able to take this thing out. If I was a sorcerer or like a ranger, sure. If you're a ranged character, you could absolutely body these things out of the sky. Just it's funny as a sorcerer. You're just like, oh, you think your flying boat is so cool? And it goes down. CR-31, are you kidding me? I can take out a boat. But I am a dumb paladin, and I have no means of doing that. So, these ones are sending grappling hooks, which is different. Grappling hooks are spawn points for bad guys. So if I break the grappling hook, they no longer spawn there. Watch the wind as you're running around. If you get blown off the ship, you die. I'm sure this is not really a surprise, right? But if you get blown off the ship, you're going to die. And depending on how nice the game is feeling, they might respawn your ghost somewhere you can get to a... you might be able to resurrect yourself. I want to say they put you in the treasure room and there is a shrine in there, but it's still not great. You really don't want to be standing here and just dead. That was a very sad, 5 minutes while I came in here on Elite, just like, this should be easy enough. Boom! Hit by a cannon shell. Me and all of the hirelings immediately all dead. And we're outside. Right? That's the big deal. I'm pretty sure... Oh. We're under attack again, apparently. But this time I'm actually protecting the helm so we don't end up stopped. See, even though we're fighting... that timer's still going, because we're still getting closer to Stormreach. Basically, Stormreach is home base. Nobody's dumb enough to actually try to do anything within line of sight of Stormreach itself. Which is why the Droam invasion still doesn't sit right with me, because it's like, you know that there's a really high concentration of adventurers here, right? Don't break my stuff. And since when can you do the chain attack? I want you on the port damage control. Make that not on fire. I would like that to not be on fire, please. Oh, before... If you want... Really? Already? If you want all the guys to survive, tell them all to guard the treasure. Don't even put anybody out here. Collectively, they can fight a lot better, because A... they're not getting split up. They're all in one spot. And B, they're not getting hit by opposing cannon fire, which is really what kills them. As much as I want to like the controls for like shooting the cannons and everything, it's very finicky. You have to... Look at that. It's got aim, up, down, left, right. Like, where am I supposed... Where's my... Let's fire, just to see it. Where'd my shot even go? Where are we at? Is it still broken? No, I should be able to fire. Nothing. Okay, so this one is scripted. This is supposed to be part of the quest. Boom, see our timer disappeared? That's not it. Oh. See there, the Eclipse of Blood. That's the guy who's mad because of Sentinels of Stormreach. We've seen Captain 2 before. Right? He's come to steal our stuff. Now, since I couldn't kill this other ship ahead of time, it's still here. So I'm running over here to knock their engine out. I'm knocking their engine out real quick, and then I'm going to go mop up everybody else I find. And hopefully... Hopefully we can get out of here. Come on. Go, go, go. I know I'm not super strong, but I've got a 20 strength, right? A bear trap, I will just take the bear trap with me. Alright, Veiled Chain guys are from that ship, so they will stop spawning now because their ship is gone. Alright. Sucks to be those guys. Alright, there's nobody on the top deck. I don't see anybody on the mid deck. Let's go see if anybody's trying to steal my treasure. Andaro has taken some damage, which makes me think maybe somebody came in here. Maybe. Or he took damage before I put him in there. Is anybody on... We'll say this is the top deck. Ah. Some more dudes. And the bridge. You saw that other airship parking behind us? Yeah. We need to repel the boarders from the Blood Tide. Blood Tide. Blood Tithe is Warhammer. Making sure they didn't run around me to get to the treasure vault. I took out their first wave, so I think it's mostly archers that they have left. Oh, no, a couple guys. So, like I said, this part's scripted. You're not supposed to be able to outrun this one. What he did is he banished the elemental in your engine. Basically, ripped out your power cell. You know, if you guys would stop spamming spells. You see how many mages are up there? They are not kidding. They want me dead. But they're dumb. And they're letting me just kind of run wherever I want. Hey you, come over here where only you two can attack me. And I'll kill you. And I'll run around this corner. Break, and then we're going to run up here. Then we're going to finally take out the stupid mages. All your mages are dead. So if you look closely, he's a zombie, right? Sentinels of Stormreach has canonically already happened. So, you get him hurt, he'll teleport away, you gotta chase him around his ship a few times. Alright, I'm ignoring those archers temporarily, despite the stupid slow effect, which... Why would that be a thing for arrows? Hey look, I saved my treasure. Oh, and Dara went down. You died doing your duty. Protecting the loot. Okay, I fixed you. Try not to die this time. You were also literally next to the shrine. Do I have to... Anyway. What sucks about dying, like, right here, is you have to go through a loading zone in order to actually get to that shrine. And ghosts can't initiate the loading zone. Because you can't click on the door. So I leave Andaro inside, so if something goes wrong and I blow up out here, like say I forget to cast Death Ward, or I mistime this jump, I can tell him to come to me and raise me. Alright, let's see, this says I need to repair my helm controls and my engine. Can I go to the cannon bay? No. That's where we're going. I just have to hit a button first. And there's yet another archer with yet another unresistible crippling effect. Where are you at? And you're dead. I hope you're proud. You got power word stun into a freezing sphere, and you still tickled me. With my level 5 armor. Alright. This room. Our goal is to beat him up until he leaves. He's going to run around and activate the cannons over and over and over again. So, my plan A, because I have DPS, is to ignore the cannons and just beat him up until he runs away. Because he does have to stop for a second to activate the cannons. On other characters, I will kill the cannon as he activates it. Although I think I'm halfway to killing it just by backhanding it. Because it is a little safer to take him out as he does it. Like, see, if I just kill these, they're not shooting me anymore. And he'll run out of cannons eventually. Or I can hit him really hard and he'll teleport away. And as soon as he teleports away, I'm allowed to go play with those controls. So, what we did is we turned all the cannons on at the same time. And what that did is it drained all the power away from the force field that was keeping us out of their engine room. So now, we're going to go pay their engine a visit. And if you remember what we did to the last 2 ships, well, no, we're not going to do that. We are, however, going to bring Andaro because... Are you kidding me? The second I pull him out of there. Don't you take my treasure. Also, you know, the one random archer still shooting at me. I'm so slow. I need to go buy like a striding item. But this is why I put Stain Tusk and Mad Ann down here. Did you kill? Oh, you killed them. I don't usually play this level on hard, because I don't have to. But yeah. Alas. Alas. I've never seen them go down. Usually this is a safe place. Maybe I should have put all of the crew down here to be safe. Alright, well, I'm going to leave Andaro, I guess. I usually have a whole bunch more hirelings. And they're all packed in there. Whatever. They died defending my loot. They're also right next to resurrection shrines. So... Alright. A couple more pirates. Now this is supposed to be one of those tricky puzzles that you're not supposed to be able to do by yourself. If you step in there, you die. There's a humongous, like, blade trap. You're supposed to have to hit all 4 of these, and it's only safe to cross while they're all lit. So I cross, right? But I'm on this side of it now. Also, I thought there was more of a timing thing. Apparently, it's just do all of them. Well. He's dead. Again. So, not only are we breaking their engine, we're taking their elemental bit. Right? We're taking the bit that we need to fix our ship. Remember to disarm the trap again on your way out. Or you're going to step right there and die. Click. Trap is disarmed. Do not forget to disarm the trap on your way out. So, big ship. Big ship's going down. And I'm just going to leave whatever dickwad is up there. Good job, Andaro. You made it. Bye, random archer. So, we dropped this thing onto our engine. Now we can actually fly. We gotta go fix the helm again. If I was super optimizing this... Are you guys still just standing there? If I was really optimizing this, I believe you can tell the hirelings to use stuff. Guess not. Maybe because I'm already using it. See that ballista? Go defend it. There's not really a quest like this in the game. Like, you get on the airship, you get attacked by other airships. I wish the shooty controls were more controllable. Or that maybe there was like a brace button, Assassin's Creed style, so all your guys didn't immediately die. I have definitely seen this quest beaten by just... What? Are you guys gonna float? Just float there forever? I've definitely seen people beat this on normal. You know, especially like a sorcerer that just goes, oh look, a ship. Fireball. I don't think it's intended that your ship outruns Captain 2 and the Blood Tide, I don't think that's intended. I think it's just if you happen to be able to stop those first 2 ships from slowing you down, that you run the timer. Right? Captain 2 shows up like 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the quest. If you never stopped moving, you're in Stormreach. They may have changed that since then. They may have nudged him over so that you can't skip him. But, either way, I don't skip him on purpose anyway. This is a unique quest. We have treasure to defend. We've got a ship. We've got to board enemy ships. We have no crew left. We have no crew left. Every single one of them is dead. Did we have anybody? Maybe somebody in the engine room? I think this is where you spawn if you fall off the boat. Is right here in the engine room. If you really, really, really want to save all the crew members, maybe you send them to the engine room. Because I don't think the engine room gets attacked other than the scripted, oh no, they broke your thing, which, not sure that they actually send anybody in there, or if they just say they do. Drawing the ballista. Pew. At least this works. There we go. Made it to Stormreach. So now, once he parks the boat, we're supposed to meet the ambassador in the cargo hold. I might have to step out and step back in, because I might be on the boat version of the cargo hold, and I need to be on the end of quest version of the cargo hold. Hello, Captain. Hey, look. Sidony, the same one that, she's the quest giver for Giant Hold and somewhere else now that I think about it. I mean, I think she's sitting around in Three Barrel Cove now, but there's Giant Hold and I think she shows up somewhere else. So, we get treasure. All she wanted was a dragon shard. All the dragons ever want is dragon shards. They're obsessed with dragon shards. Yoinkity yoink yoink. We get a bonus chest for taking out the Veiled Chain. That's one of those other ships that I ran in and destroyed. I destroyed 2. Apparently I only get credit for one of them. Maybe because I only destroyed one of them before Captain 2 showed up. Thought maybe there's something else. I want to say there's a boat. Maybe it's XP bonus. It's either treasure or an XP bonus for keeping the crew alive. I didn't do that. Enjoy your gold, Captain Cage. All alone since all your friends are dead. But you have a boat. It costs pennies to resurrect his entire crew, right? Pennies. Compared to the treasure they have now. Alright, that was Epic Three Barrel Cove. I I think this is the standard that all other Epic remasters need to come up to. Not all the quests were changed. Like, they were not structurally changed, but enough things were changed to make them different. Just drain the water out of one, a couple, little stronger enemies, a little more organization from the enemies, switch out a boss fight. It didn't take a lot, but it makes the place feel different. It makes it feel like Epic Three Barrel Cove is different, right? You wouldn't just call all of these exactly the same quest, except for troglodytes get. Like, okay, you put some snake people in instead of troglodytes. Like, that was not... That is the low point speaks well to the epicness of the pack, I think. That the worst thing they did was leave one of them exactly the way it was. And let's not forget, they got rid of the duplication, so you don't have to do the troglodyte one twice for some reason. They skipped the fire caves, which was odd. I figured they could have at least put, similarly, one fire quest. You don't have to do it twice, but once. Weird. And Scoundrels Run... Again, that's kind of a weird one to just not do. Like, I can't think of why they wouldn't have, other than maybe people just don't like it. I don't know. Don't know why they skipped that one. But, and I think this is big. They stapled an entire new story on top of the existing quests without ruining the original quests. And they added a new quest with a bunch of neat mechanics that mostly work. They work good enough. We got through it. Sure, I don't know how to make the side guns fire. But, if I come through here on a sorcerer, you best be we gonna be melting some boats. Ooh, named items. What is this? A buckler. Dodge. Damage reduction. I mean, it's okay. I don't know if I have anybody who uses bucklers on this account. What do you do? Strength. Healing application with vitality and resistance. That's pretty good. 60 healing amp is pretty good to just have on some gloves with, HP and resists. Okay, we're going to have to take a moment to look at that. But let's look at this one first. Saint Moray's Fire. Okay, it's a rune arm. I'm not taking a rune arm. So, couple things to note on this dart. If mine eyes doth deceive me, this has two of the best things you can have on a throwing weapon. Okay, not counting returning. If it's not returning, you're not using it. This has improved paralyzing, which means every single hit, they have to make a DC 25 save or be paralyzed. So things are not hitting you back while you're sitting there at the bottom of, plinking the archer from across the way. He doesn't get to shoot back anymore because every single dart he has to make the save. And it's a Vorpal dart, okay? You roll a natural 20, enemy dies. It's got some HP limitations on it, so it's not going to blow away an epic monster in a single hit because they've just got too much HP. But it is absolutely better than this +3 fiery axe that we've been using. Yeet. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot, apparently. Oh, well. What is this second weapon I have? The Ferro Crystal one? Yeet. Yeah, there's... Whew. The Coffin Nail is a good throwing weapon. And it's a dart, so almost everybody can use it. You're not using it for damage. You're using it for... I'm a melee, and sometimes I'm at the bottom of a cliff, and I have to shoot the archer at the top of the cliff. And it's one of the best things you can just huck while waiting for things to die. Yay. That's the heroic ones. Ooh! Saga reward. So, yep, just this little half of Three Barrel Cove plus epic Sentinels of Stormreach. That's a Saga reward. Boop. Intimidate, Swim, and XP. Interestingly, Intimidate is one you don't really want it to be high on accident. If you're not using Intimidate, you don't want to accidentally make yourself get too high in numbers to it's not. The only thing that's going to matter is me clicking Intimidate checks. That's all that's going to mean. We're going to take Intimidate. We're going to have ever so slightly scarier. Wherever it went. There. When we need to intimidate people out of our way, we're going to have a slightly better chance of actually meeting the DC. That's all it means. If you're going hardcore, like, super gung-ho about epic Reaper raids, don't take Intimidate on accident. If you're not the Intimidate-based tank, you don't want... Because there's a couple abilities that'll trigger Intimidate here and there. And you don't want to have enough Intimidate to accidentally take aggro off of something. Now, I'm only half remembering, because I don't play the endgame, right? This is just something that I remember was a problem at one point. I don't know if it's still a problem, but don't steal aggro off your tanks. Anyway. It's time to leave Three Barrel Cove. And go... Oh. To Stormreach. We don't have to go anywhere. We are going to the Heart of Madness chain next time. The only one that has a Delirium quest in Epic. And they picked the one that is the hardest one to make it through without dying. That's the one. That's the one that got the Epic. But that'll be next time. For me, it's hot. Although I think maybe we'll level up. We'll level up. We did some good adventuring today. We did one of my favorite quests. I love that airship quest. Maybe just because it's new-ish, right? It's unique. I haven't done it a million times, so I'm not tired of it yet. I really like that airship quest. We successfully sailed back to Stormreach with a boat, literally a boatload of treasure. I am going to advance to the next epic level. I get a feat. And I believe... doop, 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 doop. We're going to take Beloved of the Divine. Now, this is not something that I see anyone else taking. And I'm even going to double check in my little planner. So, there's not a million good feats right here. It's it's tempting to take the auto haste, right? I hate being slow. This is 32% movement speed. Yeah, it's auto haste. Yeah, that's tempting. But I can wear an item to do that. Just opening up the right one. Right, so as much as I would like that, right, yep, Beloved of the Divine. We don't get our meaty feat till next level. What Beloved of the Divine does is, if we're using a martial weapon, which we are, +2 attack and damage. It's not exciting, but you have to be one of the divine classes to even take it. We are, it's plus attack and damage. We're a melee character. It's +2 base damage that gets multiplied by all of our bonuses, and it's like, as opposed to what? We're kind of at the point that we don't care about most anything else. If you want to take something that might have some impact right now, grab Force of Personality. That lets you swap your wisdom for your charisma on your will saves. So our will save would go up by 14, right? But we already have really high saves. I'm going to get Force of Personality, just not till later. Blinding Speed is not a bad option. Burst of Glacial Wrath is a funny option. You don't care about the damage it does. You care about that you can use your charisma for its DC and potentially just walk into a room and be like, freeze! Get it? Because you're a cop. You're never really going to be able to push the DC high enough to truly keep it working consistently. But if you're going to reincarnate anyway, sure, play with it. But you're not going to get a whole lot of mileage out of it, even on a pure charisma build, because you're not building in all of the evocation bonuses. And enemy saves go up exponentially the higher level you get. The epic save feats are not terrible. I think at one point I had one of them in the build, but not failing insert save here on a 1, that's not bad. But we can get those in the epic destiny trees, and most of the time, like, the penalty for failing is I take some damage and I don't care. So I think the only one I'd really care about is Epic Fortitude, so you can't fail a Finger of Death on a 1. But again, just cast Death Ward. Don't be lazy like me and try to save the whopping 24 spell points by skipping Death Ward. None of those are all caster feats. Don't take, technically Ruin would do damage, but it costs 1,000,000 SP and you don't have it. Do not take the shield feats. Do not take the shield feats. We are going to take the special level 31 shield feat, which wraps all 3 of the feats into 1. And I believe you are locked out of taking it if you take any of the lower ones. So don't take shield mastery, or you will lose out on improved and greater. Or you'll have wasted your feat. There's force of personality. We're going to take that just later. I mean, toughness just doesn't mean anything anymore. Not with all the other sources of HP. Do. We're a two-handed, so we don't care about tower shield. I'm not seeing anything to care about. Beloved of the Divine, right? It's that or force of personality, and at that point you're just switching what order you're taking them. Maybe blinding speed. I will give you blinding speed as a third place. I'm lazy and don't want to have to go find a proper striding item option. But yeah. It's there. Nobody, the barbarian doesn't get to take a feat that's just do more damage. This is a feat that says do more damage. Like, that's not the worst thing, right? There are worse feats than do more damage. We got one destiny point. Is there anything we care about for one? 2% double strike. I put 2 points into it. Sure. 2% more double strike. That's how much effort I need to put into that. There we go. So, as I mentioned before, next time, Heart of Madness. Heading into the 12 to gather up those quests. At least I'm moderately certain it's the 12. So, we'll pick up here next time. Thanks for watching. If I forgot something obvious, let me know. Tell me what you think of the airship quest, because I really like it, and I don't hear anybody say anything about it. Like, I poke around on the forums now and then, and people, both the official ones and like Reddit, right? Here's my listicle of my top 10 quests or whatever kind of stuff, and nobody ever mentions it. Nobody ever hates it. But I'm like, come on, this is a good quest. This quest needs more props. Like, they need more credit for how good this quest is. Like, this is cool. I was excited for that quest back when we did that in Heroic, right? And I think the epic version of Three Barrel Cove actually does elevate Three Barrel Cove as a whole. Whereas a lot of the other epic versions, like, I'm just picking on the Druid's Deep again because we did those recently, those were carbon copies, right? Is it better value that you have Heroic and Epic? Yes, it's twice as much XP if you don't mind repeating the route. But Heroic and Epic Three Barrel Cove are so far apart. It doesn't... And it was like, what, 4 out of 9. You're only doing 4 out of 9, and the 5th quest is brand new? Sign me up, right? Like, it doesn't feel like an imposition to go back to Three Barrel Cove. Because you don't have to do all of the grinding. You don't have to do all of the running back and forth. And you get a new quest. Compared to, I like Giant Hold, right? But it is, Epic Giant Hold is just more Giant Hold. And it's not as far separated from itself. Giant Hold is 14, Epic Giant Hold is 24. That's not as big of a gap as 3 to 26, or I want to say 20. It's 25 or 26 is that last quest. 25 or 26. It's a way bigger gap. But anyway, that's enough rambling for me. Man, this might as well be a podcast for as long as I just sit here rambling. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.